Where were you exactly when this happened and you hear the shot ring out? Where were you?
You mean how close was I to him?
No, where were you in terms of the demonstrations? This was an area that they'd tried to secure, is that right?
Yes, well here's the scene in Bangkok today. It's a sort of it's a combination of, I don't know, Mad Max and some medieval scene. There are bamboo pikes, and there are rubber tires that have been fashioned into barricades that block major intersections. And inside this encampment, you have all these protesters, and we were just inside that wall, just inside this makeshift barricade. Sedang was facing out into the city, facing out into this business district where there are tall buildings and other places that could have been the location of whoever did the shooting.
And no indication, obviously, of where the shot came from. One imagines if he was the target and it hits him in the head, somebody had a pretty good bead on him.
Yes, I mean he was standing in the same location for a while when I was talking to him, but he was moving around. He was just gesticulating. I was just looking over the series of photos I took of him. He was, he wasn't standing still. He was bobbing his head, It seemed to me, look, I'm not a ballistics expert by any stretch, but I was facing him. He was answering my question, looking at me, and the bullet hit him in the forehead, from what I can tell. So it looks like the bullet kind of came over my head and struck him. So that's I don't have slow motion video I don't have video at all, but I don't have any way of confirming this beyond just what I remember from the scene. But it sort of felt like it grazed my head and hit him in the forehead.
And so he didn't have obviously much security other than the protesters there himself, and this shot apparently coming from outside, outside the barricades.
Yes, it certainly seemed to me that the shot came from outside the barricades. We were right near the edge of the barricades, and there were people all around us on the inside of the barricades, and certainly the shooter didn't appear to be there. He wasn't wearing any protection. He was wearing a camouflage uniform. He had a floppy camouflage hat on. He had a Bowie knife in his belt, as is his sort of charismatic style, and he didn't have bodyguards per se. There wasn't any immediate reaction by armed people inside, so no guns were drawn or anything. So I assume that the people immediately around were not armed.
This is not a guy who's popular, to say the least, with the government, but he's also not all that popular with a section of the protest group. True?
That's correct. I mean, he is on the one hand an impediment to a peaceful solution to this protest. On the other hand, he's a renegade in sort of all senses. I mean, he's a renegade from the army. He's also a hardline renegade. He's a hardliner within the protest movement. There are a lot of leaders within this protest movement who think that their goals have been achieved. They want to call it a day. They're worried about further violence. He told me today that he thought they were being cowardly, and he wanted to carry on.
Extraordinary perspective there, Thomas. Really appreciate your time. A little bit too close to the action. Glad you're safe. Appreciate you talking to us.
You're welcome.
All right, Thomas Fuller there of the International Herald Tribune.